I think the question is going to come down to, did the officer, or was the officer reasonable in their belief that the driver presented an imminent threat of death or bodily harm to himself or to someone else? That's really the legal question that has to be answered. You know, we do have several versions of the video from different vantage points that may elucidate that question and show us whether or not the officer could get out of the way. When it comes to the constitutional standard, there isn't a specific law or case that says an officer cannot shoot at or into a moving vehicle. In fact, there are cases where the Supreme Court has actually found that that's perfectly okay. But whether or not that's good police practice is a separate question. And at this point, most law enforcement agencies across the country actually prohibit officers from shooting at or into moving vehicles unless there are certain circumstances at play, meaning mostly that the person is deliberately using the vehicle to threaten the officer or someone else. Officers are trained to eliminate the threat. And so in following that direction, they are trained to actually shoot until they're sure that the threat has been addressed. Okay? So we have that on one side. But on the other side, there's the principle that when a threat is no longer present, use of force must stop. I think there are a lot of communities where ICE enforcement has been stepped up, are concerned about the level of activity and whether or not that activity is being appropriately supervised, and whether or not officers are acting consonant with their training and policies in the way that they're conducting themselves.